version. This isn't a friendlier version.
You know what Daredevil's capable of. You know what Fisk is capable of.
Together, it can only end in explosion.
Man, I hope they don't mess it up. I hope they don't mess it up. By the way, Fiona, could you check my injury level? Uh, 81%. Slower than I thought. So, how long until I can train again?
According to your recovery speed, you should be able to train again in about 2 weeks.
2 weeks. It's not too bad.
Since I have your attention, do you mind reacting to a quick video?
Sure, I got some time.
At your leisure.
Begin.
So I want to talk about why men of this generation are scared of women. And I think it has to do with a bunch of reasons, and I'm going to go into it. But number one...
Every generation has people that are shy. Most people don't like to face rejection. It's not like this generation in particular is afraid of women more than other generation. Now, technically, that might be true, but I don't think I've seen anything that makes it so. Now, if you say scared of people knowing that they shot their shot and then got shot down,
Thank you.
yeah, I could see people being afraid of that, but that has nothing to do with this generation in particular. Keep going.
Dating apps has made it so that men do not have to risk anything to go on a date with women. Back in the day, you used to have to at least go to a bar and risk rejection in front of your friends or embarrassment or any sort of thing like that. Now it's just guaranteed. Men can go on an app and just swipe, and if you match with them, they know that you at least have interest in them, so there's literally no risk. Second,
Okay. First of all, it's not like clubs and bars don't exist anymore. Also, men still have to interact with women in their everyday lives, whether at work, school, when they go to restaurants or supermarkets or whatever. It's not like guys don't do it. Now, if you want to say that there's a large group of men that found a way to avoid those places because of dating apps, sure, I can see that. But can you blame them? I mean, even in the 80s, guys were already having problems when they were going to bars and clubs to pick up chicks.
I've got a secret. I worship the devil. I'm into the group thing. Yeah, I want to work in videos, but really I want to be my own star in the videos because I want to become a pop singer and a rock singer and write my own songs, produce my own songs. And then I want to try an actress because people tell me how talented I am. I'm a natural and stuff like that. So then I'm going to write my own stories and direct my own stories and, and produce the movies that I'm doing.
and I think that people having phones and girls always recording things definitely scares men because they always think that like a girl is going to record them and call them a creep. Men are so terrified of being called creeps. I think it's like one of the things that they fear the most. They never want to be that creepy guy, and now in this generation everything's recorded and put on TikTok, so they're scared about that. And the third reason I think...
Oh boy, okay. Girl's interesting. Okay, two things. First of all, a woman swiping right doesn't guarantee a man anything at all. The woman could swipe right and still goes the guy before he ever meets her in person, before he ever calls her. So it's not like swiping right is a guarantee to anything. The fear of rejection would still be there. So it shouldn't matter. It's not a thing that you should consider, right? If you want to be in the dating game, rejection, most of the time it's a numbers game. So you have to go from the mentality that, you shoot your shot, you get shot down, so be it. That was the first point. The second point, from my understanding, the amount of times that women swipe right is infinitesimally smaller compared to men. So much so that an economy has been created where men get depressed using dating apps and women basically use it for social validation.
Men are scared of women is because they just don't have motivation due to pornography and things like that to even go on dates, and they're so scared of
Fiona,
Go ahead.
could you tell me when was porn invented?
There are so many reference mentions of it throughout history that I can't just give you one single date. So, I'll give you a TLDR. Pre-1860 you had the Kama Sutra by Vatsyana during the 3rd century. Then Imodi, a.k.a. 16 Pleasures by Giulio Romano in 1524. After that, you had Sonetti Aisuriosi by Pietro Aretino in 1527. Between 1860 to 1977, photography was invented in 1926, but was not commercially viable until the 60s, which led to a boom in the selling of titillating images. The first movie of that genre came out in 1896 and was called Le Coucher de la Marie. Rough translation would be The Wife's Bedtime. Here, let me show you the video.
I think I get the gist of it. No need to show me the full thing. Keep going.
Between 1977 and 1991. It went from magazines and movies shipped to P.O. boxes for privacy reasons to easier access in the form of VCRs by buying or renting. It then became even more accessible with softcore late at night. Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. I mean, when the internet became ubiquitous, which led to its exponential growth from professional picture to video, followed by pay-per-view to amateur to webcam, and all the way to Rule 34 and Lonely Fanatics.
So porn was circulating on television since the 70s, if I got that right? And then that didn't stop men from trying to approach women anyways. So I don't think that's a valid reason. Now, some might say that it's become so prominent, so ubiquitous, so degenerate, and so easy to access that it might have changed the behavior of men, but still, I think that nothing can replace the real thing. Anyways, keep going.
being like called a creep or getting like accused of something that it's easier for them to just say inside. I'm not saying this is an excuse, and men, you need to get out there and get over this, but I'm just explaining why I feel like men truly are scared of women in this generation. So I want to talk about why men of this generation are scared of women. And I think it has to do with a bunch of reasons, and I'm going to go into it. But number one, dating apps has made it so that men do not have to risk anything to go on a date with women. Back in the day, you used to have to at least go to a bar and risk rejection in front of your friends or embarrassment or...
Really?
Yeah, I think I get it. I don't think she has a real opinion. I think she was just trying on a new shirt and trying to do her own rendition of what does it feel like to be in an earthquake without being in an earthquake. But I'd probably need to see a little bit more of her work, so to speak, just to make sure.